Okay, so let's see how you did on the Dave problem. Okay, paranoid Dave has $500,000 under his mattress, and he spends $25,000 every year. Okay, we want to look at the information in the data table. So after 0 years, okay, so right now, Dave has $500,000. Okay, after a year goes by, he spends 25,000. Okay, so you have to take it away. You got to take away 25,000 from 500,000. So he now has 475,000. Okay, so every year you're going to take away 25,000. So year 2, he has 450,000. Year 3, he would have 425,000. And after 4 years, he has 400,000. Okay, the y-intercept and the slope from a data table. Okay, the y-intercept of a data table, which is the initial amount, is the value across from 0. Okay, so Dave is starting out with $500,000 at year 0. Okay, the slope of a data table is the change in y over the change in x. That little triangle just means change. Okay, the y values are going down $25,000. Okay, the x change, the x's are going up 1 year. So the slope is going to be negative $25,000 a year. See, so the slope is telling you how his money is changing. Okay, it's decreasing $25,000 a year. Okay, putting the numbers in the blanks. So the y-intercept was 500,000. The slope was down, I should say decreasing 25,000. The exchange was increasing 1 year. So the slope was negative $25,000 per year. Okay, the same information in a graph. Okay, we're just going to graph the data. 0 years, 500,000. Okay, 1 year, 475,000. Okay, 2 years, 450,000. I'm just following the pattern now. 3 years, 425,000. 4 years, 400,000. 5 years would be 375,000. Okay, I'm just following the pattern from there on out. Okay, you could draw the line. Okay, so there's my line graph. It's showing the same information that the data table shows. Okay, to find the slope and the y-intercept of a graph. Okay, the y-intercept, the initial amount, is where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, and this line that we drew is crossing the y-axis at 500,000. So the y-intercept is 500,000. Okay, the slope, choose any 2 points you want. Rise over run. I'm just going to go from here to here. Okay, notice we're going down 1 space, over 1 space. Just be really careful on this y-axis. Okay, this y-axis is not counting by $1. Okay, it's making jumps of 25,000. Okay, each space is a jump of 25,000. So when we go down a space, we're going down $25,000, and then we're going over 1 year. So the slope is negative $25,000 because it's down, over 1 year because it's to the right. So the slope is negative $25,000 per year. So the y-intercept of the graph was 500,000. Slope, we went down $25,000. We went over 1 year. So our slope is negative $25,000 per year. Okay, so we're really, you guys, we're looking at two big ideas. We're looking at the initial amount and the slope, but we're looking at it different ways. Okay, so the first question down here, what is the initial amount? Okay, well, even looking at the sentence. Okay, look at the sentence. The initial amount of money is $500,000. Okay, looking at the data table, the initial amount, the y-intercept, is across from zero, the 500,000 across from zero. And on the graph, the initial amount is the amount of money he starts with at 0 years, the 500,000, which is on the y-axis. Okay, so the y-intercept is where it's crossing the y-axis. So the initial amount of money is $500,000. How fast is Dave's money decreasing? Okay, you see it 3 times. You see it in the sentence because it says he spends $25,000 every year. You can see it in the data table because it's going, the y values decrease 25,000 as the x values increase 1 year. You see that information in the graph because you rise and run, you go down 25,000, you go over 1 year. So whichever, all 3 of those places, you could find the answer to this. So the Dave's money is decreasing 25,000 every year. So to find the equation, okay, y equals, okay, right after the y equals, you put the slope. The slope is the change. It's the negative 25,000, and then the x. Then at the end is the y-intercept, the starting amount, which is 500,000. So the equation is y equals negative 25,000 x plus 500,000. Okay, the last question is asking you how much does he have after 10 years? Okay, so the equation, let's use the equation. Y equals negative 25,000 x plus 500,000 is the equation. Okay, this x stands for years, number of years. This y value stands for money. So if we want to know the money after 10 years, we can just take that x and replace it with 10 years. And put everything else back into the equation. Just bring everything else down. So we have that the amount of money, y, which is what we're trying to find, would equal negative 25,000 times the 10 years that they gave us, plus the $500,000. Multiply first. Negative 25,000 times 10 is negative 250,000. So when you have negative 250,000 plus 500,000, you get a positive 250,000. Okay, so after 10 years, Dave still has $250,000. Okay, do your best on these. We're going to do this for a week or so, but my goal is for you to see the slope and the y-intercept, okay, in the sentence, in the data table, and in the graph. Okay, let me know how you're doing.